Prime Minister in last 24 hours have spoken with 3 women candidates. Yes, 3 women candidates. One by one, I'll play out the conversation and we will have a debate. We will have a conversation on, is women as a constituency in India arrived in 2024 election? Now let me straight away go to Rajalakshmi, political analyst who joins me in studio. I'm joined by BetiBachaoBetiPadhao, my input editor. Prime Minister has been dialing women candidates, speaking to them, 3 in last 24 hours. Is it correct on my part to say that the women as a constituency have arrived? India has taken a long walk away from the word which was used in Lok Sabha, parkati, women divided by orthodoxy, caste and class, something which we thought will never happen. You know, it's like American politics, only city-centric. And now you have women as a constituency nationally. Though at a state level, people have done it. Nitish had done it, Jayalalitha had done it, a lot of people have done it. But nationally, women as a constituency on gender, do you think they have arrived?
Very good evening, Karthikeyan. And yes, that is a very interesting and a very poignant part, I would say, that, women have always been, like, at least in our country, we have always been a part of the electorate. So even though immediately after independence, the number of women who used to go out to vote was a little lesser than, compared with men. But now, all the political parties have woken up to this fact that women make up almost 50% of the vote share. So, that is something that definitely they have all realized. And, that is, I think, what gives the women a little upper hand here. Because let me just, on a humorous note, let me say that whatever, they may say to the man in the house, but, in their own heart they will have their own opinion, and they may go out and do whatever they feel is the right choice for them. And that seems to exactly have happened in a lot of places, and that is the reason why PM Modi has actually come out with a thumping victory again and again and again. So even in places where the BJP was actually not so much in the forefront earlier, now it is winning, in great numbers. I think it is mainly because of the woman factor.
Rajalakshmi, it also has
And
to
now,
do with, it has to also do with the fact that the Prime Minister has done something very, very, I would say, revolutionary. I don't think
absolutely.
any Prime Minister has used the word pehle shauchalay phir devalay. You know, people would have
Yes,
thought 500 times to have used the word one. Secondly,
yes,
yes, schemes like Ujjwala have been there in the states, but to specifically connect utility with dignity is something which has to be credited to Prime Minister Modi. The fact that you have linked toilets with women's right to dignity and a dignified life was unprecedented. Brijesh.
Well, I think, what he has done is that he has realized, and as Rajalakshmi was saying very rightly, that, he has realized that it is not necessary that women are, being part of the family is governed by what the husband of the house says. And she has an independent mind, and, she is also able to decide what works for her, which schemes work for her, and which leader is working for her, and whether it falls in sync with the kind of imagination or political ideology she has. And, there the connect of the Prime Minister has been right from day one, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, all these slogans, and then you go on to, all the schemes which have been launched in then, and majority of addresses, either from, see, Prime Minister has communication with 3 women, 3 people, and all of them are women. 2 from West Bengal and 1 from Kerala.
Rajalakshmi, people also fail to understand that this is not something which Modi has done in 2014. Brijesh has travelled all over Gujarat. I remember the 2 elections I covered. I'm not sort of a Gujarat specialist, but yes, I covered 2007 election and the one before 2014. And kaun aaya, Gujarat ka sher aaya. This was something which I heard in Saurashtra, and it was directly being referred to Prime Minister Modi. And a lot of people at that point of time found it awkward. But then Modi experimented with this constituency also in Gujarat, Rajalakshmi. It's not as if he learnt everything in Delhi.
no, not at all. In fact, he has brought with him this rich experience that he had as a chief minister of Gujarat, and that too, he has come with this very successful model of Gujarat, and that is something that he brought to the table. and he had showcased it in front of everyone that this is how I have administered my state, and this is what I want to expand to the
Rajlakshmi,
entire
can you
country.
say that? Can you say that the Nari Shakti is the war cry? What was governance in 2014, national security in 2019? It's Nari Shakti in 2024.
Yes, it does look like that. See, and if you look at it carefully, initially, in 2014, immediately after he became the PM, he spoke about, like you rightly said, it must have been shocking for a lot of people when he spoke about toilets, he spoke about sanitary napkins, he spoke about all issues that, most prime ministers might never have imagined that they could speak from the Red Fort. So he spoke about things that actually touch the lives of people. This lack of a toilet is one of the major reasons why a lot of girls in the rural areas cannot go to school after a certain age. So these are the things that definitely have touched people. And you know what, now he has shifted from talking about beti bachao beti padhao. He has obviously he has been doing that, but he has shifted from talking about women empowerment to women led development. So he
Okay.
is talking about women centric development. He is talking about women in leadership roles. So he is no
I like
longer
to
talking
stop you
about
here for a
somebody
moment.
else.
I like to stop you here for a moment. If you look at his choices, Nirmala Sitharaman, I think has become the longest standing woman minister in the P5, the top 5 ministries. Am I
Absolutely.
correct?
Yes, you are right. And if you look at the fact that the women have been a dominating character of his core cabinet, it has always been. It was not like that; it has never been before. But for the longest time, Nirmala Sitharaman being the defense minister of the country, Nirmala Sitharaman being the finance minister of the country, Smriti Irani being HRD minister, and the emphasis on the number of MOSs.
His successor in Gujarat was a woman, Anandiben Patel. People forget that.
Absolutely.
I have to with a little story about our very first elections in 1951, when Sukumar Sen, the first chief election commissioner, was horrified because a majority of women voters from Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Bharat, Rajasthan, and Vindhya Pradesh in those days, and when they asked for IDs, they identified themselves as किसी की माँ, किसी की बीवी, right? And they were horrified because these people could not vote in that election. I think from being a Congress-led country where women had to literally be taught to understand that they matter, to today's Modi ji's India, where women know that where Nari Shakti is an everyday household term. I think it's a huge leap in development. I'm very proud to be witnessing the sea change.
When Pradhan Mantri addressing issues like Sandesh Khali, where the Chief Minister of West Bengal should have spoken, but she kept quiet. Not just did she only keep quiet, but rather she said that these women, were orchestrating a drama against her government, to defame them. But then what has come out as the truth?
Rajalakshmi, do you feel that it's the Nari Shakti which can help BJP in places like Kerala or West Bengal, where other combinations did not work earlier?
Yes, definitely. Two things that I would say is now PM Modi has definitely, in especially in West Bengal, very clearly he has given a voice. He has given this power to the women, especially see now in Sandesh Kali. This is such a strong message that he has given the power to the women who didn't have a voice earlier. So they are going to be she is going to be the voice of all those people, and she hopes to be the representative in Parliament, none less than the Parliament. And again in Kerala, this lady, this former principal, she is going to be talking about how there are these irregularities, and not just all of this. The second point that I wanted to say is that he has given them aspirations. He has given the women folk aspirations, not just something about I will give you 1000 rupees per month. That is not aspirations.
Okay.
Aspirations is when you have your own wings. You want to become something like a job creator for so many people. You want to become a leader. You want to become somebody who has an identity of your own. So that is what he is doing. So he is somebody who has understood all the
Okay.
feelings of the women, who has connected with them very strongly. And
I think what Prime
is why
Minister
we are
has
with
done
them.
is, I think what Prime Minister has done is, Priyanka, and I would like you to come on that, but then I'm going to end this part of the show. I think what the Prime Minister has done it, that the cultivation of women as a constituency for vote has not happened on the issue of caste, class, religion. It has happened on the issue of dignity, utility, usage, help, education, something which has to do with a life goal, ambition, realization of oneself. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely correct. All these positivities on one hand, and look at the negativities which BJP is, targeting. See, BJP is committed to uprooting corruption in the country. Now, I will tell you the simple example of this is just compare the candidates. On one hand, you have Mahua Mitra, whose house is being raided by the CBI on charges of taking, the cash for query matter from the businessman, and he's also been questioned by the ED. He has been summoned. She has been summoned. On the other hand, you have candidates of BJP like Rekha Patra. You have candidates like Amrita Roy. Those who want to do something and work for the society, not those who have taken money from the poor, and once they had reached parliament, they wanted to question based on the money they are getting in lieu. So here is the comparison.
Okay. I think very well said. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you, Kasturi Shankar, and thank you, Rajalakshmi, for joining me on the show. My conclusion at this point is that the Nari Shakti, or the women as a constituency, has really arrived, and the Prime Minister is welding the issue of redistribution of wealth by taking on people who indulge in corrupt acts, and the point of the conversation starts from women. I think these are the two important points which the Prime Minister has picked, and I really don't know how it's going to work, but it has definitely given them a narrative strength to the government, because it is for this reason the opposition's narrative on what are the election issues on what they are fighting is not visible, it's not discernible.